Welcome back to Champion News Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. This is Carol Parisi and Jack Roeser, and today we have Andy Shaw on the show with us from the Better Government Association. But during the break, we were talking about Tom Roeser and his passing last weekend. And I know Jack and Andy, you both knew Tom well. So,
well, let me just say there were two very formidable Roesers in the political and civic world, and now we're down to one. Tom was what we called a Renaissance man. He was a very successful businessman. He was a founder of the City Club of Chicago, a preeminent public discourse venue. He was a talk show host on WLS radio. He wrote a newspaper column at various times. He was active in Catholic causes. I think probably, though, Tom will be best remembered as someone who really conducted public discourse in a civil way, intelligent and civil, even though he was ideologically more closer to Jack than a lot of other people. He was conservative, but he was a very agreeable debater. In other words, he could disagree without being disagreeable. Mm-hmm. And I think he was a gentleman, and he was beloved by many, and he will be missed by many, including the people who used to listen to him on the radio. And as I say, thankfully, we still have one Roeser, because it's enough to get rid of one, but if you got rid of two, then you'd really be missing something.
Tom,
and no relation, right, Jack?
That's right. We tried to find a relationship because we were friends for many years, but I have a son, Tom Roeser, and he's still very much alive and kicking.
And running your business.
And we share the name Roeser. We both lived in Park Ridge, and oddly enough, we both have a daughter named Jean Marie. So a lot of things, but we never found that we were related. I would like to have been related to him. Among other things, beyond what you mentioned, he was a raconteur.
Yes, he was.
He could tell stories about traveling with Humphrey and getting acquainted with that happy warrior. Tom was full of stories. I had him for a speaker at numerous events, particularly when they were issuing scholarships and so forth. We got to be deeper and better friends as life went on, and I will miss Tom Roeser, a very decent man and a very fun guy. That was a good fella to know. We had, I can't recollect the bad moments at all. He was just a wonderful fella. He lived a long and beautiful life, and was liked by both sides of the argument.
Well, it's always good to hear good things when people are no longer with us in body. But Andy, tell us about your website and how people can get engaged with the Better Government Association.
Let me say first, thanks for having me. It's a great opportunity. I love to preach the gospel of better government, reclaiming this government that's actually ours. I would just advise listeners to do one thing. Go to bettergov.org. Mouse around, look at our content. We have investigations, we have think tank blogs, we have policy conversations.
Andy, I'm so glad that you're doing this. You've added new life to a venerable organization, and it needs what you're bringing to it.
And you know, I know we took several commercial breaks during the course of this radio broadcast, and so let me just give my own final commercial by saying this. We are a nonpartisan, nonprofit 501c3. We don't take money from politicians, PACs, or elected officials. We survive with the generosity and kindness of people who believe that this is a good cause. So when you visit the website, bettergov.org, at least look at the donate button, consider donating, consider becoming a member of the Better Government Association, and let's see if we can make better government a reality together.
We are looking to do that. And this is going to wrap up another edition of Champion News Talk Radio. Thank you, Andy Shaw, for joining us today, and thank you, Jack, for having this great show. You can visit us at championnews.net. You can catch us here every Sunday at 8 a.m. on AM 560. Make it a great week, and thank you for listening to Champion News.